country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
Yeah, all right. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, Hump Day. Happy, I hope you guys are having a happy week. You know, I always tell my folks, if your happenings happen to happen happily, you'll be happy. If your happenings happen to happen unhappily, you'll be unhappy. Well, I hope your circumstances are happy today and you guys are having a good time. I want to see if you're happy. I want you to put me a little smiley face or something like that in the chat. How about that little smiley face over there in the chat? Let me know you're having a good day. Good morning, dear America family. Hope everyone is doing well. Make sure that you hang in that chat. If you're over there under the Google overlords, they're on YouTube watching this live. Come over to Rumble and search Dear America. Once you get there, I want you to click on the thumbnail and jump in here with us and join the chat. Let's talk. Get into the chat today. As every day, your super chats, $5 or more at the end of the program. We will read it. We will answer your questions, whatever you got. We love to hang out with you and have a good time. We're going to have a good time this morning, guaranteed. Throw those, I like the smiley faces. You can throw some flags in there, whichever, whatever. Hey. Dear America, I was reading the news last night. I try not to read the news. Actually, I was reading the news on my phone, and then I jumped in the car with Party Foul Steve and his wife, Tony. We went down to watch the Houston Astros play the Toronto Blue Jays last night in Houston, and they were listening to the news. And I go, do we ever get tired of the news? Can we just unplug from it for a minute? But I didn't say anything. I just kept listening, and I thought, I think the Dear America family, they'll appreciate this. That, some days you wake up like today and you're like, I don't want to deal with the news. Like sometimes you pour your coffee, you open up, your phone and there's a news app that pops up and you're like, is this even real life anymore? I mean, the stuff that's coming across the headlines, you think, am I still on Earth or did I get abducted by a UFO full of gender studies majors and climate activists with asthma from too much soy that butt diddled me and now I don't know which way is up? Like, it is a confusing world. I don't know if that's the way it is for you, but here we are. So welcome to the show. We're at least on the Dear America program, we know which bathroom to use. We still believe the flag is more than a beach towel, and we still think men shouldn't wear rompers, unless it's a satirical sketch and we have to prove a point, which we'll probably get Todd to do that next week. Now, tight rompers. So today we got a lot to unpack, including why the government wants to track your cow farts, why 6-year-old math books include critical race theory, and why half of Washington can't define what a woman is, but they can define your income tax rate down to the penny. I think that's something. And speaking of irony, AOC just flew a private jet to, she didn't fly it, God forbid. She flew on a private jet to an Earth Day event. That's right, nothing says save the planet like burning jet fuel to deliver a 14-minute TED Talk on cattle burps and banning straws. I mean, she's basically Captain Planet if Captain Planet had a platinum Amex and flew like a Bond villain and was trying to figure out where the corners were in the Pentagon. They don't have corners, by the way. Don't worry, she offset the carbon footprint by glaring at a gas stove and yelling at a Tesla dealership. Hey, listen, if you're tuning in live, go ahead, blow up that chat with American flags or a little CLC, some cry libs crying, maybe a little let's go, Brandon, if you just missed the old boy and you feel like photoshopping him into your family picture. Let's get spicy, folks. This is Dear America, the podcast where common sense is still legal, at least for now. Let's get into it before they cancel us for breathing free air. Folks, the tariff wars, recession fears, and stubborn inflation, no wonder gold has been routinely hitting an all-time high in volatile markets like right now. Don't sit on the sidelines with your head in the sand. I want you to take control and safeguard your savings. That's why so many Americans today are turning to Birch Gold Group. They've helped tens of thousands of people convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. It's time for you to hedge against inflation and economic instability with gold. Yeah, it's still out there. It still exists. To learn how to own physical gold in a tax-sheltered account, I want you to text the word DEAR, D-E-A-R, not the little animal that runs through the woods, like Dear America, like deer, like the top of a letter. Dear to 989898. That's the phone number. Birch Gold will send you a free, no-obligation info kit. Again, text DEAR to number 989898 with an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews. I trust Birch Gold to help me protect my savings with gold, and you can too, folks. Come on, look at me. Don't I look like I'm protected? It took us decades to get into the tangled mess that they're trying to unpack right now. How long will it take to get out of it? At what cost? Birch Gold can help you secure your future. Text DEAR to 989898 today, ladies and gentlemen. Dun, dun, dun. Welcome to the program, Mexican Tony.
What up, everybody? Good morning. I feel like I need a sombrero hat and something with little maracas or something dancing around with the songs going on. So
Well, you got that little dog behind you.
I do, but yeah, Paco's been sick lately, so I've been leaving him alone. So
Paco or Taco?
his name's Paco with a P. Paco.
With a P. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
He's
Because he
got-
could have
he's
gone
got-
either way.
Yeah, he's got that bulletproof vest on, and it's really heavy on him. He can't
It's
move
wearing
around
him
all
down.
that. So, yep,
Should have put
so,
a
It's wearing him down. You know, it's like I can't ever figure out why Chihuahuas are pissed off. I don't know if it's because their brains are too small or they're Mexican. I'd
It's
be
because
mad.
it's because they have little dog syndrome. That's why they're always mad. You got little dog syndrome.
The little Chihuahua. They all got that one broken tooth that hangs out of their mouth and
Yeah.
refuses to let go and just rattles when they shake. All right. Everybody's favorite redneck. Speaking of toothless, Hot Seat Tots here.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, if you hear a bunch of loud noises coming from my studio, have no fear. That's probably just Noah, going through my yard because oh my God. Chad, when you did that that Facebook post on, you almost dying and hydroplaning, it's like, I wonder how bad it's raining. I know how bad now. Like,
Yeah.
worst flood I've seen ever down
Yeah,
here
y'all
now.
had a belly washer, son.
Man, it was bad. Dude.
I alluded to the fact that we went down to the Astros game last night. I love going to the ballpark. I love doing it.
I do too.
And it was a good time last night. Houston won. I know nobody cares, but it was Barbie night last night, and
no.
everybody was dressed up. Like even the dudes were dressed up like Barbie characters. Like, how do people know to do this? Like, is there like a note that goes out to the regulars, or people just say, okay, Tuesday night, whatever they're calling the stadium now. It used to be Minute Maid, Dakin Field, or something like that. Now, like, does it go out and say, okay, everybody's got to dress in pink and put a wig on or something like that? I felt a little weird.
What happened to just the good old-fashioned bobblehead night? I mean, why you got to dress up like, flat-fronted Ken and Barbie? Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to make a joke, but that's not appropriate for the Dear America family.
Sure it is.
You all snatched britches off of Ken and wondered, huh?
Yeah,
What? What's wrong with this guy? He's not anatomically correct.
not at all.
But I would put your favorite baseball team in the chat. Let me see what you got right there, guys.
got you.
I have a split personality because I do love the Rangers. I love my Texas Rangers, but I'm an Astros fan as well. So I'm a Texas guy. I'm a homer, man. I'm a homer. But you say Astros are cheaters. Now, Alicia, they just got caught. They're all cheaters, trust me.
Yeah, they all steal signs. I promise you, they all do it.
cheat. They were a little over the top with their deal, but that was a different administration, everything.
Yeah, of
but
course.
whatever. The Tigers, my brother was a big Tigers fan. He went to the 84 World Series. We still have a piece of the old stadium, the Detroit Tigers scoreboard at my mother's house. Because, when you're in Detroit and you win something, you got to vandalize everything. And so my brothers, they stole a piece of the scoreboard, piece of the cushion. The Cubs. We need to go to Wrigley. You know what? We need to have a Dear America baseball trip.
Dude,
Let's do that.
Hey, I've been to just about every ballpark that I want to go to except for Wrigley.
Wrigley's
Like,
awesome,
I
dude.
want to go to Wrigley so bad.
We were nothing's more American than baseball, right? Like, or used to be, like you said, before they started having Barbie night and Pride night and all the kind of garbage and stuff like that, and the everlasting, eternal, whatever queer sisters that showed up, which was a bunch of dudes in drag. I even sat on one of the buildings across the street at Wrigley, out in left field. That's a cool experience if nobody's ever done that. Pretty cool. And then I took the tour at the Red Sox stadium at Fenway.
Man. Love
put my
Fenway
hand
Park.
on the green monster.
I've
stuff
been
like
in
that,
it.
so.
I got
Listen,
to go
y'all.
inside the wall. It was awesome.
I love baseball. Love it in October, but I can't stand all these umps, man, that are just taking over the freaking games. They are not
Yeah.
you, Todd. I'm just saying, man. They're.
Oh, it's about to get personal,
They,
isn't it?
they influence the game so much, man. I mean,
No, they
they're
don't.
calling strikes when the freaking ball's like 10 feet off the plate. I mean, are you
Pretty
kidding
bad.
me? I mean,
With the
come on, man.
technology, AI, and everything
That's
else.
what I'm saying.
I mean, we got to get off this topic, or Graham will bust in here and tell us that we're talking about a crappy topic, and he'll want to blow up the chat. But
Hey,
I
no,
think it's good to talk-
he's a massive baseball fan.
He
so.
is, but I like to, you're right. In 2025, like I don't like taking too much of the human element out of it.
Exactly.
But in 2025, there should not be that many missed balls and strikes. There just shouldn't.
Yeah, I agree.
No, and what
Yeah.
I'm saying, Todd, I'm not disrespecting, because there's a lot of great umps out there. I mean, you can see that they'll talk to the players. They're like, okay, I missed that call. I'll get you on the next one. But a lot of them just have power trips, man. You're you say something to them, they'll throw you off for no reason whatsoever, man. I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah. Speaking of Barbie night, I'm drinking my pink drink. This is my hydrate from Make Wellness. You
I'm
guys can
drinking the
join my
Fit.
team. You can go to
No, you
watchchad.com and right under my header, you can click on Make Wellness and you can join my team. Anybody that signs up for Subscribe and Save this week gets a free Team CP hat. Team CP. Team CP. Anyway, I know you like soccer, Tony, and that's just, we can't hold that against you. That's how you grew up, man. Speaking of balls and strikes and one who consistently misses, Nate Silver says AOC, his prediction is AOC is going to be the 2028 Democrat candidate for the presidential race. But yesterday was Earth Day. No one in this chat cares.
I didn't even know until about 10 seconds ago. I promise.
It was Earth Day, which I guess we were supposed to get down like Katy Perry and kiss the ground or something. And by the way, they didn't go into space. You know what? My producer told me, he's like, you can't talk about that because they'll find you on Google. They'll find you on YouTube. And I'm like, I can't hold it anymore. They didn't go into space. They did not go into space.
Yeah, I love how the little idiot, Gail or whatever her name is, like, oh, it's so weird that now I'm calling myself an astronaut because, we took the Alan Shepard route. Shepard walked on the moon, you demon.
Astronaut.
No.
There's so many reasons why they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now they're talking about like some of the John Kennedy's talking about investigating to see if they did it. I mean, Bezos spent $200 million on a little publicity stunt right there. Anyway, let's just leave it.
Yeah. Well, I blew out a candle before I went to bed. That makes me a freaking firefighter.
You know what? It makes you Smokey the freaking Bear is what it does right there. So anyway, her and Bernie, they've been flying around on their little tour, going around saving America from Trump,
Coachella.
I guess. But they're getting on. They went to Coachella, which, you know what? Nothing says hypocrisy like Bernie Sanders taking a private jet to a concert where 60 to 70% of the people had to finance their tickets and then barking about the oligarchy.
Yeah,
okay?
really.
Nothing like getting in front of a bunch of Anyway, the Rez Truth Prod says you might want to think twice about the Team CP hat. It's child porn. If you take my initials and you make that association, you're the one with the problem. I was like, don't you wear red tennis shoes? You know what that means, right? Pizzagate. You guys, I love you much.
Look at how corrupt all of our system is, dude. 6 years ago, she was a bartender, dude, and now she's flying around on private jets. I mean,
bro.
Yeah, complaining about your carbon footprint. Like, I seriously, I didn't know Al Gore was still alive until last night. Like, apparently he compared Trump to Hitler last night at a speech, and I was like, he's still alive?
Asking AOC to be president of the United States is like asking your Roomba to run NASA, folks. I mean, her foreign policy would be her foreign policy plan would be happy hours and free mojitos at the UN. Like, seriously, her economic strategy is splitting the check 12 ways. This woman is stupid. I mean, stupid. This is a woman who majored in vibes and minor inconvenience and thinks the electoral college is where kids go to major in queer vegan dance therapy. She's stupid. She is dumb. I mean, blow up the chat with a big thumbs down.
I do have to say, though, I'm super excited if she is the nominee.
Me too,
Vance
bro.
just freaking destroy her. On the
Listen, J.D. Vance would have a good time with her. This is the kind of woman who would launch a missile just to manifest better energy, okay? I mean, she thinks the GDP is a venereal disease. Like, this girl is stupid.
And as I always say, AOC, remember, don't forget to blink and breathe.
Well, let's pull up this story, the next one right here, since you pulled up the Team CP thing. And yeah, I'm standing by Team CP. That is my name.
That name.
Here's a dude right here. Like, dude, Kansas City YMCA in Missouri reportedly entered the women's locker room and pulled his wiener out to a 7-year-old girl and her mother. See, you take that out to the parking lot and you spend 45 cents on a bullet.
Yeah.
It was less than 10 days ago when a Metro mother and her daughter had finished up swimming lessons where she says hundreds of children attended. They went to the women's locker room to change. That's when she says she heard a man's voice. She then decided to leave. But as she and her child walked out of the stall, they encountered a naked man, his privates on full display.
Not private
She asked
anymore.
What in the world he was doing? The woman claims he said something to the effect of, quote, "Honey, I'm a woman." She and her child then sprinted out of the locker room. That woman spoke to Fox 4 on Monday, and she says they were not the only ones. who saw.
My 11-year-old does use that locker room, especially after we go to the pool. And in there, you either have the closed down showers or you
Don't pay
kinda
attention to the fact that
try
her
to
last name is
change
Bush.
as quickly as possible. So it's definitely shocking and something that we'll be looking out for a little bit more.
The YMCA tells Fox 4 it's investigating the matter, saying in part, we follow all state and local laws and individuals are allowed to use the locker room or restroom that they identify.
No. And, oh my God, dude.
No,
And
you don't.
it's gonna happen one day. Like I'm telling you, it's going to. That stuff don't happen down here where I live. But I'm telling you, they're gonna do it to the wrong husband, wrong father one day, and somebody's going to get unalived. And I'm sorry to tell you, folks, I'm your huckleberry. Like I am telling you right now, whether it's Kendra, CJ, or Jessica, I don't care if Chad or Tony are there or not. If I'm the only one there, I will unalive you.
Yes, that's the solution.
Like I will unalive you.
Listen, you don't get to go to the bathroom you identify with. That's why there are literal signs on the bathroom. Now, if you want to open an establishment, and this is not going to be a gym or a YMCA, but if you want to open a restaurant, we got some here in town, that it's just a bathroom. You got, did he go get his gun? Where's he going?
Yep,
so
he left.
my thing is, if you have a bathroom that has a door and you go in and it's a private bathroom, that's fine. It's gender neutral, whoever's there. But there's only one person goes in there. You lock the door. You shut it behind you. That's fine. You want to build an establishment like that where you just go in the door and that's what you do. That's fine.
Listen, I got 3 daughters, and if that ever happened to my daughters, I think I would literally just I think I would just black out and just I probably would probably kill that guy. And just when the cop showed up, I said, "I'm sorry. I associate with a father who would not put up with a man showing his privacy to my daughter." Sorry.
I identify as a vigilante. So how about that? I identify as a vigilante. So you know what? That is what I most closely identify with, and therefore I felt like I was going to help this person realize their ultimate destiny. So I did them a favor.
Yep. And Todd, you're 100% right, man. It's gonna take somebody who's gonna say enough is enough. Somebody's gonna lose their life, and all of a sudden, but then they're just gonna blame us. They're like, oh, that's that's discrimination. You're being violent against a person who is identifying as something else. They're just gonna turn it on us. But it's gonna take something like that until these people realize that they are literally it's if they were in jail, they would be killed by an inmate in there. They would because for exposing themselves to a child. I mean, what do people don't understand that doing this stuff is just wrong?
Pull that biology book back up there. Just show them the thickness of it. Just show them that's a weighty, hefty tome. Look at that thing.
Human physiology, right?
Physiology. There you go.
That's A&P book right there, and I don't
guarantee
even know
you
how old this book is. I mean, it's.
And
old.
you know what? There may be somewhere in that book. Go to the index in the back. There may be a reference in that book, maybe a paragraph long, about dysphoria, like gender dysphoria. Look up DYSPHORIA, dysphoria. Look it up in the index and see if there's a reference to it anywhere in there. Just see, because this is an older physiology book, anatomy, physiology. See if there's anything about dysphoria, like gender or anything in there.
How you spell it again?
DYSPHORIA. Is it there? No, because it doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't.
So that's a physiology book. It's a new phenomenon.
There's erectile dysfunction.
Well, I mean, that's a thing. It's called androgynephilia. These dudes get turned on by pretending to be women and exposing themselves to biological females, particularly young children. It's androgynephilia. They get turned on by dressing up like a woman. That's the deal. That's a fetish.
And here's part of the problem is that you're not going to see any of the Schumers, any of the Pelosi's, any of the AOCs at a YMCA. You're never gonna see any of the elites go over there. So that the YMCA is for blue collared workers, where they show up, people that don't have the ability to have pools in their own yards or have a rec room or anything like that. So it's gonna be for just regular blue collar people that this stuff is gonna be happening to. You're not gonna have a at the Pelosi house. You're not gonna have a butler or a maid dress, not even dress, being naked and identifying as a woman, and have a butler walking around with his schlong just hanging around all over the place, because
Paul
that's not going to
Pelosi
happen.
He might. I don't know.
Well, I will tell you what is in this book.
What is it?
The characteristics that define an individual's sex are established through the process of genetic sexual determination and sexual differentiation, which is controlled by specific hormones. The two identical sex chromosomes in the female are designated XX, and the two non-identical sex chromosomes in the male are designed XY.
Well, that doesn't count.
I mean,
That doesn't count because they're talking about sex and not gender. That they're talking about sex. See, that's what they would say. That's why I always tell people to get offended online who are like, I don't find that funny. I was like, you know what? People have 72 genders. At least one of them has to have a sense of humor, right? I'm going to send this picture to Sarah Gonzalez right now and explain to her why I'm ghosting her. Sarah Gonzalez is like, Bish, why are you... I'm not going to say everything she said. Why are you ghosting me? You know what I do in the morning.
Yeah. Well, to answer the question of those
you
who
come at my
identify,
let me just say what I want to say before I forget
Go
it.
ahead.
Tony, I try not to interrupt you guys, but
You're
but
good.
I'm going to pull a Graham. I'm just telling you. You come at my daughter with your thing out. That's assault. That's assault, and now it becomes an issue of self-defense.
no.
I'll hand the gun to my daughter.
Yeah.
You know. Sorry, Todd.
100%.
Go ahead.
No.
Sorry,
And-
Spirit of Graham. I didn't mean it.
Yeah, no, you're good, buddy. And to the mic for the mic drop moment on those who identify. Guess what? In 100 years, when we're all in a cemetery, if they go dig every one of us up, there's 15,000 of us as a part of this show right now, and they dig all 15,000 of us up. Guess what? They're not going to be able to tell what you thought you were. They're going to be able to look at your skeleton and go male, female, male. Female.
100%.
That's it. They're not going to tell you what you identify as.
You can't say that we're just gonna whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
play this Catholic priest.
I
Play
love this.
play this guy.
He is my new best friend.
Play this guy.
I like this guy.
Play it.
Playing.
You cannot be a practicing Catholic and be part of the current Democratic Party knowing that this group is actively working for the killing of the unborn. You cannot be part of a group or an association that's focus is to bring about moral evils. This is why for centuries, the Catholic Church has made it very clear that you cannot be a Freemason, because there are foundational principles of the Freemasons that are contrary to the Catholic faith. You cannot be part of something which is essential to it, moral evils, because you cannot be part of something and not support what is essential to it, picking and choosing what you want, what you like. And you have a moral obligation not to be part of that. There is a moral obligation here not to be part of them,
I like
regardless of
Me too.
whatever other good things you might think the Democratic Party is trying to bring about. Murder is a line you cannot cross.
Yeah,
You-
I've said it for the last 2 years. Like, you cannot claim to have a walking, talking relationship with our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and identify as a Democrat. If that hurts your feelings, suck it up, Buttercup.
Well, people do like I was talking about. I did a little history lesson on my show yesterday. We talked about J.P. Morgan and particularly John D. Rockefeller and the history of the Fed and all that stuff yesterday. And Big Pharma you need to go watch my episode from yesterday. It's my little history lesson. It's a good time. Stuff that a lot of you already know. But in that whole thing, I've talked about like Freemasons and certain things. You always have people who come out after you and they say, well, you can't say I can't be a Democrat and be a Christian. And you're like, oh, you can't talk about the Freemasons like this guy was doing right there. And I was like, listen, the history of Freemasonry ain't got nothing to do with your lodge down there where you get together with the boys and raise money with the Shriners. I mean, we're not talking about that. There's a whole lot of stuff that's out there. And so I'm curious for my Catholic audience out there, you guys in the Dear America chat, I'm curious to know, is this, if you go to Mass or you hear, what do you guys call it in the Catholic Church? A homily or sermon, whatever it may be. I'm not Catholic, but I want to know, are there guys like this, or is that a rare deal?
Yeah, that's
I
a
want to
good
know
question.
I want to know from somebody who knows. Like, do you find more of this in the Catholic Church or less of this? So more or less in the chat, I would like to know from my Catholic friends. Okay, so Tamadez says it's rare. Unfiltered Lady says he's rare. I would like to know. Z-Dog says it's a rarity. Unfiltered Lady rare.
It is
Homily.
interesting to see a priest come out and say things like this, because the Pope that just passed away, Pope Francis, he was very into inclusiveness and LGBTQ, the XYZ, W123, inclusive, and he was saying that all religions lead to God. I've never heard a Pope speak like that, because obviously, you have all this stuff where we see the rainbow religion, where they're having trans pastors or whatever they are. I mean, that's not following any religion that I've ever heard. But he was very into having everybody be included in that.
Well, let's keep up with this guy. I don't know who he is, but let's find out, Todd.
Yeah.
And let's
All right,
get
let
Mr.
me
Producer
see who
looking at
this
this,
dude is.
because I want to see what the aftermath of this is.
Right.
Because there are going to be consequences for that homily that he just gave.
Absolutely, yeah.
He'll face
Yeah,
consequences. I bet you he will.
Yep.
Tony, and the problem is, and I know, Chad, you know this, but the problem is the word that you're using. It's religion. That's the problem. The root word of religion is translated bondage. Okay, Christ did not die on a cross to give us a religion. He wants a relationship with you, not a religion. All right, he doesn't want tradition and hymns and all. He doesn't want all that. He wants you. He wants a walking, talking relationship with you. Jesus doesn't care about religion. It was religion that got him crucified.
Yeah, that guy, he'll be out. He'll be out. Watch
Yeah,
this.
I'm
They'll
trying to figure
defrock
out
him.
what his name is right
They'll
now.
defrock him. Let's talk about our friends over at Backyard Butchers real quick before we get into some heavy stuff. Backyardbutchers.com/Chad. They got a deal going on for the Dear America family right now. If you subscribe to one of their monthly boxes, and they got that's not the steer you're going to get. Those are milk cows right there. Those are dairy cows, but they have some beautiful Texas cattle right here, beef cattle right here in Texas, and it comes from their family to your family. But they'll lock in the price. It doesn't matter what the supermarket does. They'll lock in the price now for the next couple of weeks. They'll do that, and you will have that price guaranteed for the rest of the year. So go ahead and get your box delivered. You can even get their beef tallow. That's like a big deal right now. People rubbing that beef tallow on themselves. They love that beef tallow, or cooking in the beef tallow. It's good stuff. But you can get the whole steer, half steer, whatever they'll deliver over the period of a year. But get your subscription box, get your steaks delivered monthly, and just check them out, dude. It's good beef. You don't have the hormones, you don't have the steroids, you don't have the vaccines, all the crap put in there. See, that's the way they're vaccinating people right now, is they're putting that crap in the food. Well, they don't do that at Backyard Butchers. These folks, it's the family farm, man. Backyardbutchers.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad and see if that gives you even more discount. Check that thing out. CHAD is how I spell it. No, I spell it Chad. It's CHED, I spell it Chad. All right, backyardbutchers.com. Check them out. Look at this. I found this story last night, and I was like, this is what we're dealing with. Like, this is where DEI will get you. This is where the work ethic or the lack of it. This is Houston.
Boy.
So what's her name? Krishanda Williams. She's a 911 operator, hung up over 2,000. She hung up the phone on over 2,000 Houstonians who were reporting emergencies. She told the police she wasn't in the mood. I ain't in the mood for it.
That is gangster, man. That's what that is.
Can you
I'm
just
sorry,
imagine
man.
that? Like, 911, can I help you? Oh, my cousin just got shot. He'll be all right. Walk it off.
I ain't got time for it.
I ain't got time for that.
I walked out. I didn't grab my
Rub
shoes.
some sand
or
on it. You'll
nothing,
be all right.
Jesus.
My house is on fire. Are you in it? No? Okay, you'll be all right.
Bronchitis.
You in it?
I mean, I see some folks in there saying this is old news. It ain't old news to
It
me.
ain't
This
old
is
to me.
hilarious.
This is new.
Good jokes never go. Look at her. She did 10 days in jail.
That's
Says
it?
That happened. Said that happened. It happened in 2016. But you think that ain't happening today? I mean, the negligence is going on.
Yeah, right.
Let me prove it to you. This ain't a 911 call. We talked about this yesterday before the show with the boys. How many times you ever pull up to a drive-through and like you see the caliber of people that are working in there, and you just keep driving. You're like, no, this ain't gonna work. Because again, I had these two guys that were working at a Raising Cane's. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I was coming through Texarkana, Texas, trying to get home to Houston, driving through the night. We pulled up to a Raising Cane's. It wasn't that late. It was like 10:30. And the dudes, it took them they had to pull around to the front and wait. And here comes, old boy, he comes out there. He's like, man, we ran out of chicken. I was like, couldn't you have told me that at the drive-thru? That you have one job, you have one menu item, is chicken fingers. Chicken. You could have told me you didn't have no chicken.
Todd, how many callers did she hang up on, and how long was that happening for?
Yeah, 2,000.
2,000 people.
2,000. Yeah, 2,000
From
people.
what time to what time?
It doesn't say, but I love this comment. I have to go to the comment section when it comes to this.
I'm assuming it happened for quite a while while she was employed there.
Oh yeah.
I mean that goes back to the leadership, man. I mean seriously, I go back to the people who are hiring her, or the people that hire these kind of employees. I mean, it starts with the managers, man. It really does, because obviously, you go to a restaurant like you just said, Chad. Just touching into that, you have a bad server, you got to go to the people who hired the server. If the manager doesn't do anything, you got to go talk to the owner. You got to go to the higher ups. The fact that she was able to do all that with all these people was that tells me that nobody cared in the whole department. Because obviously she was doing that for quite a while. People were probably calling back like, what do you mean? I just called 911, somebody hung up on me. This person just hung up on me. I mean, come on.
I'm loving the comment right here. What law did she break? Negligence and incompetence is illegal. Like
Yeah, but that's not it's not in that job. This ain't working the fry grease.
No,
like, and I can just picture her with her big long fingernail, pushing that button. She's like, hello, no,
and
hello,
the Jasmine Crockett eyelashes.
No, 911, what's your call? No, 911, what's your call? You tell him. I didn't grab my shoes or nothing, Jesus. There's a fire.
No, what was probably happened is her phone probably got turned off, and she was using 911 to talk to her buddies. Hey girl, hey, what's up, girl? Hang on a second.
Hang on, somebody call.
911, we busy. Hey girl,
somebody
girl.
calling. Hang on, it's him again. He calling.
Wow.
Here's one that's up to date. ICE arrest an illegal alien. I like saying that word. Mm-hmm. Wanted for terrorism.
It's a weird story.
In India.
India, yeah. Harpreet Singh.
But he was released into the U.S. by Joseph Robinette Biden III.
So ICE arresting an illegal alien wanted in India for terrorism-related charges. He was released into the U.S. under President Biden. His name is Harpreet Singh, one of India's most wanted fugitives. He was caught illegally crossing the border 3 years ago in Arizona, allowed to enter the interior of the country. He's wanted in connection with a series of deadly terror attacks in India. ICE agents took him into custody about a week ago in Sacramento, California.
So obviously he's not a Hindu or a Buddhist.
I got to tell you, man, when I saw this come up, I sent the story over to my cousin. My cousin opened it up and he sent me a video of him going like this. He's like, who is it? Who is it? Oh, it's an Indian guy. It's not one of us. All right, man. He started cracking up.
But see, look, here's the deal. So, we had, during Biden's administration, every year we had about 165 encounters from at least 165 nations represented in those encounters. You don't have 165 nations south of our border. I've always said, I don't know how they got a wormhole from Beijing to Juarez, but when you got Chinese nationals showing up, and I don't know if you guys realize that to get to the southern border from Haiti, and by the way, they were going down to Argentina and then working their way up. That you could blame the Clintons for all that stuff, but this guy is from India. I mean, he's from India. He didn't walk
It's not
here.
like India and Mexico are neighbors. You know, like
he didn't walk here. So this is a deal. Send him to Gitmo. Just send him on to Gitmo.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, don't give him back to India.
Yeah, eventually.
Maybe India will be harder with him than we are because we're soft.
Yeah.
Todd, I just noticed people in the chat are saying Durka, Durka, Durka. Thank you for that. Yeah, appreciate
I don't
that.
think they say that there. I think it's Dirka, Dirka,
Yeah.
Dirka. I'm gonna make fun of everybody and piss everybody off
For
today.
sure.
That's okay. I don't care if you're gay, straight, black, white, male, female, fat, skinny, identifies he, him, she, her, they, them, she, him. I'm gonna make fun of you today. We're gonna make fun of you.
I mean, if anybody wanted evidence of countries emptying out their prisons and sending them over here, I mean, you're right. I mean, India's not our next door neighbor, dude. I mean, it has to come over in a plane or a boat or whatever. I mean, to get over here. I mean,
Everybody
the
wants
evidence
to
is pretty
quote
clear.
the inscription on the Statue of Liberty. Gives you poor, you're tired, you're huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. That ain't the Constitution. Yeah. That ain't the law. That's some French wee Eiffel put that on there and thought it was cutesy. And everybody said, give us, no. Listen, we're a melting pot. We assimilate. We're not a dumping ground. We're not a landfill for the world's trash to come over here and do whatever they want to do without some sense of justice. That's why these deportations to El Salvador and all this kind of stuff. And then, the president's using the Alien Whatever Act of 1789 to deport these people, and now the Supreme Court 7-2 says no, you can't do that. What in the world is wrong with this country when our justices are saying no? We want to keep these people here. They didn't come in with due process. Now we're supposed to give them due process to go back out. We didn't vet them whether they had a COVID. God, you're rubbing off on me, Todd, and that just pisses me off. They didn't have a COVID vaccine or any proof of that, but yet they're here. I mean, I couldn't go to the grocery store without obeying the stickers on the floor for 3.5 years. I had to mask up to get on
like
the freaking
a NASCAR
airplane.
race.
I had to rub myself down in antibacterial goop and put on a hazmat suit and a respirator just to go to the airport to take it all off to get felt up by some mouth-breathing fat-ass TSA. Now, you know what? I quit this show. Because here's the next story's going to tick me off, too.
Oh, yeah, this one's going to piss you off right here, ladies and gentlemen. Bear down. Here it comes.
Chad's leaving. I was about to say, bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
4 million illegals were given Social Security and Medicaid for 4 years. If each one of them was receiving $2,000 a month, that's $2 billion with a B. $2 billion every month. So tell me again why we don't need Elon and Doge.
Yeah. I mean, let those numbers sink in.
This severely pisses me off because my mom and dad this last year they got their Social Security check reduced because they're saying that the money's running out. But yet we had this much money to give to all these illegal aliens coming in. My parents worked their whole life. As soon as they came in here, became legal citizens. They started working. They had their work permits, got their green cards, got all that stuff. They were working to pay into the Social Security establishment, and all of a sudden, they give all these illegal aliens coming in here this kind of money. It just pisses me off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are they raising hell about right now? Donald Trump's coming after your Medicaid and Social Security. So were you, Peckerwood.
You spin it freely.
Yeah,
like a
so were
drunken
you.
Sailor. I mean, you make a fantastic point, boys, both of you. I mean, this right there to say, y'all can't take me seriously, can you? Listen.
I love it.
Here, I'll be like an old lady right here. Got to stretch that thing out a little bit. Yeah, this is more like the girls I date. Right
I know that. I say it, boy.
Listen, I'm
we have too
telling
much
you
fun.
guys right there, the fact that they said, "Oh, Elon's coming after your Social Security," you just gave it all away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You gave $3 billion, $2 billion. What was the number? The $4
$2
million.
billion.
I can't
$2
even
billion
with these numbers.
a month. Like 4 million people receiving $2,000 a month. And you know what? I'm sorry. I got to go back to it. But we showed the story, Tony. I know you remember this several times. You had veterans that couldn't get good VA appointments. You had veterans that their disability was messed up. I mean, veterans on the streets right now, they couldn't get the care that they need. Here's why.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the reasons why.
I hear it every single week. My daughter's a social worker, as many as you know, and she deals with this stuff every single week. She has seniors out there that cannot afford their medication. They cannot afford their rent. All these seniors, whether they be Asian, white, Indian, whatever, they can't afford any of that stuff because inflation is through the roof because of the Biden administration. Yet we have enough money to give all these illegals coming in here Social Security aid and help them with their rent and all that stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. The stuff that we have to deal with, and our poor seniors that work their whole lives in this country to build a better life, to be, to pay into the Social Security, are having to deal with this because of this crap.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, my mother in Georgia, 81 years old. She'll get mad at me for saying that, but you know what? They know she's older. My mother got hit by Hurricane Helene. We had to go cut the trees off of her house, and FEMA sent $13,000. My mother didn't want it. She didn't want any FEMA money. She was like, no. And I was like, you know what? You're getting it. You've paid into it. That's what it's for. This is for federal help. You should be getting it. They sent her $13,000. Now, meanwhile, I've spent, I don't know, $35,000, $40,000. I've quit counting of my own money trying to help her repair her house. And you're like, well, insurance, okay, stop with the insurance thing too, okay, because I won't get into that. But you're like, that's what it's all about. I mean, I could build my mother a nice house for a couple billion. I mean, just let's divvy that up against the hardworking folks that have paid in their entire lives, and now they're 81 needing a hip replacement, living shut in at home. Listen, dude, you did that yourself, bro. That wasn't time. That was just error, okay?
There's nothing wrong with having a hip replacement.
Well, no, but if you're sitting there at 81 and you can't get one because, again, your doctor's like, we can't do it.
Very true statement.
I told Mom, I said, be like Nancy Pelosi. Go get some breast enlargements. Maybe they'll toss a hip in there, too. I liked seeing Tim Pool yesterday at the Tim Pool's a weird dude. Everybody, have you ever been around Tim Pool? He's a weird dude, man.
He's a little strange.
I've been on his show a number of times, and they're always gracious. But Tim's an interesting cat, and he absolutely destroyed the press room. They gave him that freebie seat that they fill in with influencers and podcasters and independent journalists and stuff. I love what he asked right here, and you got to give it to Carolyn Levitt. She handled this so diplomatically. But play this clip, Tim Pool.
Yes. Many of the news organizations that are represented in this room have marched in lockstep on false narratives, such as the Very Fine People hoax, the Covington smear, and now what's being called the Maryland Man hoax, where an MS-13 gang member adjudicated by two different judges, I believe, is just simply being referred to as a Maryland Man over and over again. Now, in an effort from the White House to expand access to new companies, you've created this new media seat. So I'm wondering if you can comment on following this expansion, you've had numerous outlets disparage the companies that you've had sit here, as well as the reporters. I'm wondering if you could comment on that unprofessional behavior, as well as elaborate if there's any plans to expand access to new companies.
Sure. Well, we certainly welcome diverse viewpoints in this room, which is one of the reasons we have you in here, and there's many new faces in this room in comparison to the previous administrations. We want to welcome all viewpoints into this room. We welcome unbiased journalists who really care about the truth and the facts and the accuracy, and you rightfully pointed out the Maryland Man story, which I, from this podium, when The Atlantic published it on that very first day,
let's stop it right there.
This podium and said, this is wrong.
I love that Carolyn's basically like diplomatic, and she's like, we're going to welcome all opinions in here, even the ones we don't agree with. But he basically put it in their face and said, are these people ever going to basically apologize or say that we were wrong or that we did this on purpose? I mean, are we going to hold anybody accountable? I mean, I'll go one further. Is anybody going to get arrested? I mean, Tim Pool doesn't live on the same planet we do. Like, that's an odd cat. Like, if you've ever been around him, trust me, he's an odd cat. But he's a smart dude, and he's a pretty smart dude, and he doesn't care. Like, zero. He doesn't give zero. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that he did what he did and asked that question. And this is the kind of thing that I think it needs to be put right in their faces because the mainstream media, and Harry Sissy Boy Sisson, said, well, you didn't wear a suit to the White House, but you complained about Zelensky. I am so tired of that stupid trope. One, he wasn't meeting with the president. When he did interview the president, he wore a suit. He still had a little beanie on, but he still wore a suit.
He wasn't in the Oval Office.
He wasn't in the Oval Office. He wasn't asking for billions of dollars.
He's not a president either, you tard.
Yeah. Let me, blow up the chat. Let's get this thing fired up real quick before we wind this deal up. I don't know, are we rating today or no? Did we
yes, we are rating today.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Blow up the chat with the American flag. American flag, American flag. Let's go, let's go, let's
Come
go.
on,
Let
do
me
it.
see that
Graham
American
clap,
flag.
Graham
Get the
clap,
Let's
Graham
go,
clap.
Let's go. I want to say blow up. Let's go, let's go.
Graham clap.
Come on.
Hold up,
Come
I'll
on.
give you a Graham scream.
There it goes.
Oh, my God.
There you
Blow
go.
it
Do
up with
it.
the American chat. Let me see you in the chat. Click that American flag emoji. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're not woke here.
Come on, faster.
We're not protesting for Palestine or anything else. We're not putting anybody but American flags in the chat. American flags. I saw a Cuban flag. Stop it. Put an American flag. Put an American
that wasn't
flag.
me. That wasn't me.
It wasn't Mexican Tony. Put that American flag. Blow it up. Blow it up. Blow it up. Blow it up. Come on. Let me see it. Let me see it. Break the wheel, folks. It's not going fast enough. It's not gram fast. It's fast, but I need velocity here. I need some revolutions. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
I hate it when it says I've sent too many messages and it'll.
I know. I'm blowing it up. You're just in the middle. I'm gonna throw a little dancing Trump there. He went. Phew, he was gone, like getting sucked up in the spaceship in a trailer park in Arkansas.
Now it looks like the wheel on The Price is Right.
Let's
I love
blow
it.
that thing up. American flags everywhere in the chat. I love it. Where else do you get to exercise your fingers? This is like aquatic aerobics at the YMCA where a dude will pull his dinger out in the girls' bathroom. American flag, American flag, American flag. Let's go. I see why Graham does that. It does feel kind of good. And there is something therapeutic about seeing that wheel spin like that. Let's go. Blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. Dark woke, boys. Dark woke.
Yeah, you're going to have to explain this to me.
So that's the new term, dark woke. Dark woke is basically it's the new phrase of the people like, what's her name?
Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, it's sort of an internet thing where, she comes out and she's all proud of triggering people and stuff like that and says, like Dark Brandon was, keep blowing it up, American flag, doesn't hurt anything to keep pushing the button. And so it's sort of a polarizing thing amongst progressives. This is how they're labeling themselves now. So you had Dark Brandon and with the glowing eyes and the sunglasses or whatever. And so now this is their whole progressive attitude. It's like they're taken away from the dark MAGA aesthetic. And so it's all about unapologetic aggression, polarizing progressives. It's all about it. So it's a shift from the polite discourse to aggressive, often humorous, and sometimes crude rhetoric aimed at conservatives. So every time you see her, she's going to be dropping those F-bombs. She's going to be doing all
now
that
I
stuff.
got it.
So now they're giving
Now I got
themselves
it.
permission to act like hood rats, basically.
Yeah.
Talk
So
like
basically,
thugs and act like a hood rat.
Like as Robert Downey Jr. would say, dark woke or full retard.
Never go full retard. No, you never want to go full retard. But like that's the whole deal. So to be loud, like when AOC jumped around on the stage and pulled her hair thing
that
out,
was great.
and she's like, we're gonna and she vomited on stage or whatever. That's dark woke. And then when you got Eric Swalwell trying to call people out, of all people who should never call anyone out, Eric Swalwell should not.
Fang.
But again,
See,
there's this stuff where they do this and they cuss and they say all their stuff. They're, or Imelda Marcos looking, what's her name? Not Ilhan Omar, the other one, Rashida Tlaib, where she was like, we're going to impeach the MRFer.
Yeah.
That's their dark woke
I was
mantra.
thinking when they said dark woke or when this came up, I thought they were talking about them being minorities, like AOC and
well, of course,
Crotchet,
that is an element to it.
I mean, that's what I thought. Elon Omar, whatever, they're all dark skinned people. That's what I thought they were saying.
But they're just excusing their rhetoric. They're giving themselves excuses to act
I love
like a
you,
thug.
Tony. I love you
it's
so
true.
much.
I mean, am I lying? I mean, they are all minorities. I mean,
no, and like Todd said the other day, that train is never late, so it's always going to do. So that's the thing. Pull up. Did you see the Laura Loomer thing? I don't know if you pulled that up or not.
Darth Wokemus.
It's got the little pride flag in there. Yeah, they do kind of come out like the Sith Lords with those flags, don't they? They just keep on.
Wokemus.
It's always a different flag. Jordan, let's talk about Jordan Peterson for a second. I don't know, are you a Jordan Peterson fan or not? Yes or no? I'd love to see. This could be a little bit controversial in these next.
I was, but this is kind of weird.
Well, so Jordan Peterson, he bothered me with his attempt at theology in the last year or so, where he was coming out and he was saying, I'm not a Christian, but he was talking about faith in the Bible and kind of skirting around it, which I thought was very dangerous because you're giving people an idea that they're in a relationship with God psychologically, but they're not. They haven't had a revelational experience with Jesus. And so that's what he was missing. And so, but now he's taking a lot of heat because he's basically saying that people on the right have pooled. And I want you to listen very closely. He's going to throw some big words. We're not going to play a lot of this.
Really big ones.
But let me just tell you, and then I'm going to tell you what I said 8 years ago. I'm going to show you something and just kind of point this out. But he's basically saying that Republicans or conservatives have taken psychology and politics and mixed it together, and he's basically accusing us of being like a public internet troll. This is what he said. Play a little bit of this clip.
Okay.
Listen close, guys. Listen close to the words he uses.
Well, I think the most important thing to do first is to draw a distinction between the political and the psychological, and not to collapse them together. So imagine this. Imagine that there's a group of individuals, about 4% of the population, who have a set of personality characteristics that have been described as dark tetrad. So they're Machiavellian. They use their language to manipulate. They're narcissistic. They want unearned social status and reputation. They're psychopathic, which makes them free of empathy and parasitical and predatory. And they're sadistic. So they take positive delight in the unnecessary suffering of others. Now, those people also use false cries of victimization, let's say, to manipulate, and they're entitled. They seek vengeance when it's unwarranted, and they protest loudly and make very public cries for reparations that would be self-serving. Okay, now the way those people...
Stop. See, he's talking about conservatives here. He's talking about the left. Then he went on Joe Rogan, and he was basically doing that from what he was saying on the. Do you have the Rogan clip?
I can get it while you're talking.
Well, play. Okay, so based on what he said, this is what I said 8 years ago from the cab of my truck, humiliatingly enough. Let me just play this. This is what I said. If you'll put that on while you're looking for that.
Yeah, I got you.
This is what I said. Notice the words. I said this 8 years ago. Play the clip.
Well, Chad, they say, how do you deal with the internet trolls that are so mean to you online? Those little-minded, self-focused cyber meanies with a worn-out caps lock button and on-set carpal tunnel that want to be interweb jokesters when they aren't consumed with watching foot porn. Well, let's discuss the phenomena that is the internet troll. An internet troll, by definition, is someone who comes into a discussion and posts comments designed to upset and disrupt the conversation. They can lie, exaggerate, cuss and curse, accuse, attempt to offend at all costs in the hopes of upsetting everyone involved. Now, for some, it's a hobby. For few, it's become an addiction that feeds their narcissism, sadism, and psychopathic and Machiavellian tendencies.
Stop.
And each one of them are too stupid to know.
Stop it right there.
Good word.
So, those are exactly the words that Jordan Peterson just said. Literally, I mean, I know Jordan Peterson likes to watch truck videos of mine, but those are literally, I said that 8 years ago, and now this is what he said in regards to all this. Play this clip. This is on Joe Rogan.
I think that virtualization has enabled the psychopaths.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, well,
without a doubt.
That's a terrible thing because the psychopathic types, they're always the death of everything. Like I'm seeing this come up on the right now. So imagine this. I've been working on a new theory of political psychopathology, and I like it quite a lot.
Is this where the term the woke right comes in?
Yeah, well, Lindsay is pointing at that, but he hasn't got the diagnosis exactly right. So it isn't woke. That's not the issue. It's not exactly.
I think
he's one
what
level.
they're talking about is like similar types of behavior.
He is talking about that. Yeah, no.
But
what he's pointing.
Woke just lets you clarify in your head. Oh, it's like that.
Yeah, but the problem is
it's like Antifa.
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem is that argument is predicated on the claim that the ideas are the problem, like the woke ideas, for example, on the right or the left. But that's not the problem. The problem is that 4 to 5% of the population, something like that, is cluster B, that's the DSM-5 terms, histrionic, narcissistic, antisocial, psychopathic, or they have dark tetrad traits. They're Machiavellian, they're sadistic. That's about 4%. Okay, so the question is, how do these people maneuver? And the answer is they go to where the power is, and they adopt those ideas, and they put themselves even on the forefront of that.
Right.
But the ideas are completely irrelevant.
Right.
All they're doing is they're the Pharisees. They're the modern version of the Pharisees. They're the people who use God's name in vain, right? As they proclaim moral virtue.
Yes.
Doesn't matter whether it's right or left or
Let me tell you why that's
Christian or...
important. Let me tell you why that's important. You get online and you see these people that I said this to somebody the other day, and I heard them quote me back, and they gave me credit on the radio, on syndicated radio the other morning out of Houston, syndicated across the country. Because I had a conversation with somebody, and I said, there's some people out there who try to build an audience. Like here at Dear America, the Chad Prather Show, Hot Seat, whatever, we try to build an audience, right? Mm-hmm. Some people are out there trying to build a mob, and so what Peterson's saying is we've basically taken on some troll qualities and some characteristics. I don't necessarily disagree with him that there is a percentage of people who would consider themselves identify politically right, but yet they've gotten so focused on devouring somebody that now we're devouring each other. And so, you'll see people out there who are doing that on Twitter, on X, always got to expose somebody. It's like, oh, Chad did this or whatever. And, we always knew he was trash. Like that mob mentality doesn't get anything accomplished. And so that's interesting that he's bringing that up. I mean, again, I said it 8 years ago, and a rule that we have on the Chad Prather Show is Chad's never wrong. So I have to agree with him just a little bit. But I don't, I don't always agree with Jordan Peterson, that's for sure.
I've never heard Jordan Peterson speaking that way before. I mean, I've seen a couple of his clips here and there, but I don't know how to react to that. What I do know, morally and ethically for me, there's two types of people in this world, and it's just pretty simple for me. You either have Jesus in your life or you don't. You either want to murder babies or you don't. That's it. Plain and simple for me. I don't care if you're left, right, middle, upside down,
watershed issue.
Inside out. I don't care about any of that. I mean, whatever he's spewing, he's obviously intelligent, but he's spewing out words like right trolls and everybody blah blah blah, whatever he's saying. To me it's very simple. You're either one person or you're not.
Yeah, I would love to respond to what he just said, but literally the only thing I understood was a and the.
You don't want to talk about narcissistic, Machiavellian, sadistic, and psychopathic tendencies
I live
and
by a
conservatives.
certain rule. If you can't spell the word, you're not allowed to damn say it.
Dysphoria.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the Rumble raid here in a few minutes for Vince's show. Click on there, and then if you need to come back, you can always come back because we're going to be here. We're going to do the super chats, $5 or more in the super chat. We'll get it read. Ask any question you want to ask. We will address it, and yes, we will talk about Todd's tight pants if we have to. But it's a thing. Be careful in the culture. People are devouring each other. Put the Hodge twins tweet up there. You got that deal? There's a lot of people who like to just rub the wound and rub the salt in it. I think I'm going to Vegas in June. Anybody want to go to Vegas in June? I'm going like the 16th. I think I'm going to go the week of the 16th. I will be podcast. I would do the Dear America show from Vegas. We can't see it.
The Hodge twins. I don't have the one.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. I thought we had it.
No, you got this one. You got this dude.
Cernovich. Don't worry about Cernovich. I've summarized it better than Mike. So basically, he says Jordan Peterson literally acts out all the things he just accused people of, like the narcissism of wearing the fancy suits and and then the crying on the cameras and all that kind of stuff. And then talking about how great he is that's kind of Machiavellian. And so and he basically calls him out for doing all the same stuff. It's a hypocrisy thing. Party Foul Steve says, "Neat. I'll be in Vegas that same week." I bet you will, my brother. Steve, I don't leave my money at home. I make money, baby. I don't gamble. I play. I play.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, we got more to get into, but I think we should do the Rumble raid, guys. Listen. You know what? The other rule that we have on the Chad Prather Show is the first rule of critical reasoning, critical thinking is where am I wrong? So I like to listen to guys like Peterson or whoever's out there that are sort of considered thought leaders and just see where they're at. But again, I said all that from the cab of a truck, so this is me being narcissistic and Machiavellian right now. I said it. Joe Rogan, hit me back. Have me on the show. I'd love to be on there.
Me too.
May as well. Can you imagine Hot Seat Todd on Rogan? Can you imagine?
Man, he would eat me alive.
Yeah.
He'd be like, dude, where the hell are you from?
What's Vince going to talk about today? Vince is going to talk about, there's 1,900 people. Vince will get more views than us, Dear America family.
Border deportations, the Secret Service, and more.
Yeah, he'll probably have Christy on there. Yeah, he's got Christy on there. I've had Christy on before. We could get Christy back. I really want to, but we could. I'm just saying. We got it like that.
Yeah, and to the people, let me just explain something. For those of you that are pissed about this raid stuff, this is a deal that we have with Rumble, okay? This is the morning lineup. We raid Vince, Vince raids Crowder. That's what we have to do here. So calm down.
Rumble has a deal. They've always had editors pick, so you get over there and they recommend certain shows in the lineup. And so when Bongino left, when Dan went to work for the FBI, Rumble changed some things, and they have a live feature. So they feature certain shows. We are been fortunate enough. Thank you, Rumble. Thank you, Rumble. We have been fortunate enough to be in the featured live lineup since last Thursday. Very exciting stuff. Who knows? It might get us to twist Graham's arm a little bit and make him be like, "Look at all these numbers we got."
Yeah.
Out here, man. Maybe you want to come back and hang with us a little bit.
And Hot Seat needs a pay raise.
So we're thankful. It's always about money with you. I told you to take the cash off of the counter and leave.
I can't help it.
The sweaty and everything. Never mind. But I'm very thankful to Rumble for letting us have that live feature. We're honored, we're humbled, and so that is, like Todd said, part of the deal. We have to Rumble raid. Brianna Morello just texted. She said somebody made it to the Rumble lineup. I said, since last Thursday, Brianna. Wait a
Where you been, girl? Where you been?
She said, must be nice. It is actually.
It's
Thank
very
you, Rumble.
nice. Thank you, Rumble.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Rumble. So we have to put the deal, and everybody, does the
And
deal.
you can opt out. Like, you don't have to raid. You can stay here, or you can go and come back, whatever you want to do.
And so I'm gonna join Vince's show right now and see. He's already got 9,000 people. How many people? You're cheating on me. You're cheating on me. Anyway, to Dear America, I just can't pull away from Tony's fresh face.
I know, it's so pretty.
I don't like that Mr. Producer made that thumbnail of Jasmine Crockett looking that good. Anyway, that's on us. Let's see.
Yeah,
there
it's
was.
true,
I like this. This was a feel gooder. Like this would totally be us, Todd, and Tony too.
100%.
UPS worker. He goes to make a delivery. They're having a barbecue. I thought somebody was barbecuing.
That's my barbecue. Turn it over, man. It's burning.
Play the clip. They just bring him on in. They just invited him in to get a plate of food.
Heck yeah, man. Chicken and watermelon. Why not? Heck yeah.
I'd have to go. It's Tony said that. I didn't say that.
I did.
I didn't say it.
I said it. You want to know why? Because that's the food they're gonna have. Just like when you go to a Mexican barbecue, we're gonna have tortillas and salsa. I mean, yeah, exactly. We're gonna have carne asada. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Click that like button down there, folks.
Please do. And yes, to answer your question, Free Press, I didn't think about this yesterday, but Kendra just reminded me. And Chad and Tony, you got to hold us accountable here. We will pray before we initiate the raid, so we have the maximum amount of people here. So I did not think about that, and thank you, Free Press, for throwing that in the chat.
Yeah, it's just this is all new stuff to us, so we're still trying to get our flow here, but when we're gonna do the raid and do all that. So thanks for that.
We'll pray when the Lord leads us, Free Press.
Love you so much.
We will pray when we feel led to
when the Lord
is the Lord leading us.
Fair
right
point.
now, Chad,
Fair point. Yeah, I think you should. Todd, why don't you pray?
All right, let's do it.
Why don't you pray?
Let's do it.
Come on.
I don't have to take
pray,
my
guys.
hat off. All right. Let us bow. Father, we just thank you for a great week thus far. Father, with everything and all the uncertainty that's going on in our country right now, whether it's dark woke, whether it's rhinos, whatever it is, Father, I just ask that you take control of the wheel and that you keep the president and the administration exactly where they are, and that is putting you first and foremost ahead of everything, every decision, every individual, everything in this country. That the president looks to you to lead this country and to lead him and to lead the people of this United States. Father, we love you. We thank you for everything that you do for us. We thank you for going ahead of us. We thank you for opening the doors that need to be open and shutting the ones that need to be shut. And Father, if there's anybody out there out of the 20 to 30,000 people that are listening to the sound of my voice, there's anybody out there that has a need, that's going through struggles or has never met you or does not know where they stand with you, Father, I ask that you meet those individuals where they are and you meet that need, reveal yourself to them, that love and grace and mercy that is fresh for us every single day. Father, we love you and we thank you for all that you do. And we ask all these things in your Son's name, and all God's people said,
Amen.
Amen.
Everybody in the chat said amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen.
All right, let's get to these super questions. Before we read the super questions, there is a pinned message to the top. Don't forget to head to Chad Prather's channel, my channel here on Rumble. Give those channels a follow. Before you walk out of here, hit the like button, share button. Please do before you leave. We would much, much appreciate it. So let's get into these. From Lines Fade. My mom was an EMS dispatcher for 30 years. There are a minimum of 4 dispatchers in one room. You have to work in a tandem to dispatch. The whole organization is at fault for not stopping her and hiding it.
Exactly. See, that was my point right there. See?
Very good.
Yep.
Very good. Nice. I like it. From Jody. FYI, I do celebrate Earth Day every year. I plant a tree or plant some new plants. I like to remind and teach people about it. We need that fresh, natural oxygen.
Well, you better come on down to my house.
All right, come plant some.
We'll do
I
Earth Day
celebrated
part
yesterday
2.
by having a salad. So
Yeah. Quinn 975. Democrats scream constitutional rights. Last time I checked, not Americans have no rights. Am I wrong? Not really.
I got arrested in Mexico. I can tell you, it wasn't. I didn't worry about the Mexican constitutional rights.
You didn't like? They beat you with a phone book?
no, man. All you gotta do is give them a couple of bucks. I'll let you go.
And that's how I got out of it.
You could murder somebody over there and say, "I got like $500 in my pocket, man. Can I go?" Like, yep.
That's
get out of
how
here.
I got out of it.
Nice. From Alicia Victoria. Same with my family. Tony, my grandpa would say, if you live somewhere, you need to contribute to that country. Also, the protesters waving... Yeah, Caesar's face. He was for deportations too. He'd actually help ICE. Okay. From K Bale, when blowing up the chat, it told me that I have sent too many messages, too fast to try again later. Yeah, it does it to all of us. From same demons, new name, Dark Woke. I told you, just full retard. Alicia Victoria again. My mom told me to correct myself. My grandpa wasn't illegal, but he did become a citizen. She also said, "Thank you, dear America, for the prayers with our family. God is working." That's a fact. From them Seahawks. Good morning, dear America fam. God is great, but these politicians ain't at all. I have a rant. I am a Washington State resident and want your guys' take. The same anti-2A was tried in Oregon and California. Shaking my head. Yeah, Colorado just made a big boo-boo. Big boo-boo. Yeah. Miss Lovegood, what's your take on that Irish band being F Israel, Free Palestine during their Coachella concert? The same as those Peckerhead Green Day sons of, like, idiot. I don't pay no attention to them. I mean, you know, the Dixie Chicks tried to get into a war with Toby Keith right before the GWAT started, and you saw how that turned out for them.
Yep.
So,
Y'all ever seen a German Shepherd in a vagina hat?
we fixing to see one. I'm pretty sure.
He just kicked it off.
Oddly enough, Chad, I have.
I don't even.
I love you, Tony.
I ain't doing it. That's all the questions.
All right. Well, good, man. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being a part of it. This is fun. I do love being a part of the live feature, so thank you to Rumble.
This is so great.
Share the episodes. The episodes. We have a good time in the morning. Morning shows should be fun. Get the thing spinning one more time before we get out of here. Click the American flag in there. Put it in the chat. What was it that Graham said yesterday that I've missed? That's one of his. I'll never do it. The Sissy Girl Pants, SSGP. That was funny. And then Royce has got to come back with the DDD MMM. But put that American flag in there. Let me see that thing. Blow it up a little bit. Come on, guys. Let them know we're here. All of your participation, the reason we do all of that, one, we love you being a part of it and actively a part of it. But it kind of tells the Rumble folks over there that, hey, we got an audience and we got some eyeballs that we can, because Rumble can give you the eyeballs, but it's up to us to keep them. And we hope we honor you with giving you some fun and factual information as well as some insight in our opinions. So we appreciate you guys for working with us on all that stuff. It's good stuff. We're trying to hold down the fort with Graham in D.C., We want Daddy Graham to be proud of us, man. Proud of us.
For real.
For real. All right. Todd, what time's your show today, buddy?
We're on 3 o'clock today. Don't forget, Kendra will be here. It'll be Wifey Wednesday. We'll answer your calls live, and I'm sure all of you want to talk to Kendra. So check me out at 3, baby.
All right. Tony, what you got, baby?
I got me Nothing. Just chatting with people over here. Have a good day, everybody. Sorry.
Golly.
I love it, dude. I'm looking at the Dow trying to do a thing over
It's
here.
going. Come on. Come on.
All right, guys, I'll be on it too. I got Abby Johnson joining me today on the Chad Prather Show. A lot of you follow Abby Johnson. If you've ever seen the movie Unplanned, that movie's about her life, and we are working to deal with this abortion bill that's going on here in Texas. I think it's going to have a lot of ramifications for the rest of the country. So tune in and talk to Abby. She's a great friend. She's been on the show before, but we got a very specific conversation. And of course, Party Foul Steve will be there as well. Go to watchchad.com. Check it out if you want to get in that make wellness stuff. I'm telling you, I'm giving away the Team CP hat for my new subscribe and save. But the link is right there on the homepage, watchchad.com. I will see you guys this afternoon. Don't forget Maggie Moo, Brianna, the Fire Boys, all the people, I don't know. All the folks on the Dear America program. Pray for Graham, pray for Royce, pray for all of us. We love you. God bless you as we pray for you. Talk to you later on. Bye.